YouTube, and Periscope. And tonight we are, as they say, in the trenches with early educators. This is episode 4, and episode 4 has the authors, some of the authors that helped Sharon collab with this book, and we're proud to have them on the show tonight. And I'm quite sure I'm going to get some laughs. I'm going to mess with some people, meet some new people, and this should be a very interesting show. What's up, Sharon?
Hey, 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 Quentin, how are you tonight, this evening? Hey, everybody out there in virtual land, welcome, as Quentin said, to In the Trenches with Early Educators. And before I introduce our guests, I just want to do what I do every week that I come on, and that's give a couple of shout outs. So that intro music is thanks to my son, Marcus Allen. You can find him at Mark underscore the producer on Instagram. That's Mark MARC underscore DA producer on Instagram. So you can hit him up for beats and for studio time. And I also want to shout out one of the businesses that I'm working with on Facebook with Shopping with Sharon, Chanel Touchstone and her husband, who are the co-owners of Heavenly Cakes. I don't know if any of you all saw my commercial promo shot, but her cakes are divine. I see why they call them heavenly.
Yes.
Okay. And so she can be found on Facebook under Heavenly Cakes, also at heavenlycakescakery.com. When I tell you heavenly, give it a shot. So, welcome tonight. Yes, I'm so excited. As Quentin said, we have some of the divas from volume 1 of In the Trenches, stories from the heart of early childhood professionals. And so we have with us Deborah Lynn. Hey, Debbie Deb. We have Shawnee Green Roundtree. Woo! We have Nia Malika Gossett.
Hey, y'all.
And we have Sheba Whitaker.
And I freeze. Okay, and then I freeze. Hi.
That's all right. We're going to play freeze tag tonight. That's okay. We're going to have some glitches, but we're going to keep working right on through them.
Absolutely.
So welcome, everybody. Welcome here with us tonight. We are just going to discuss the book a little bit, talk a little bit about who you ladies are. And so I'm going to give everybody a minute to introduce themselves. I like to allow you to introduce yourself so you can say what you want our viewing audience to know about you this evening. And we will go ahead in that same order. We'll start with Deborah.
Wow, I'm on the hot seat first. I was trying to hear what everybody else did first, But okay. Hi, y'all. I am so excited to be on the show tonight. I am an educator of 10 years. My past is in the legal, 26 years, and this is my first book, first collaboration. And coming out as being the best-selling author is just like over the top during this COVID season. It's nothing too hard for God. I am a grandparent of 6 grandchildren. Right. And I have some amazing stories. I live an amazing life, and it's not over yet.
Amen.
Awesome. I love it, Deborah. Thank you so much. Yeah. And then we're going to go next to Miss Shawnee Green Roundtree.
All right. Hi. I am originally from New Jersey, and that's how I know Quentin. I have been in Atlanta for almost, it seemed like about 28, almost 30 years. I've been in the field of education for approximately about 24 years. If you include my years of early childhood education, I'm currently in a public school sector in which I've been working with kids with behavior disorders. And I've been doing that for 21 years. This is my 22nd year in the public schools. I have two beautiful daughters that are my life and just my rock. And so I have made a point to mention them because one is probably watching right about now.
All right. Well, thank you, Shani. And next up, we have Ms. Nia Malika Gossett.
Hey, y'all. I am originally from California, moved here in 90. Shortly after that, got ready for graduation for high school, started my high school requirement hours and met Sharon. And she has been my mentor since. Then following, I met Shani. So, and she's been my rock since. So, been in education since then. And I've been working with all ages, including school agers, infants, admin, assistant, Montessori certified, all that fun stuff. I have 3 grandchildren and 2 beautiful children, a husband, several things going on. And I'm just excited and blessed to be a best-selling author with the team that I came in with. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Awesome. Nia. Thank you. And now we have Miss Sheba Whitaker. Tell us about yourself, Sheba.
Okay, well, first I'm going to give a disclaimer. I'm sharing this moment with my mother, so you might hear a little laughing in the background. I'm trying to keep her quiet so nobody knows, but I'm sharing this moment with my mother, who is 30 plus years retired from education. So I've been in education my entire life.
Old school. Yeah, she knows it's been
So,
long.
right. So right now I'm currently work for APEC. Shout out to APEC Family Fund Foundation. Hey y'all. Um, um, in their after school program. However, of course, COVID has complicated all of that. So I'm working with a group of children in the morning for virtual learning. So that's what I'm currently doing now. So I'm on the opposite end where you all are giving the instruction. I'm trying to make sure that the child is receiving it because this computer thing is a lot,
Right.
So that's pretty much it. That's what I'm doing now. Of course, I'm excited to be here and to be a best-selling author. Of course.
Right.
To add that to my belt, but I'm happy to be here. So that's pretty much it. I'm kind of nervous a little bit too, for whatever reason.
You don't have to be nervous.
Girl,
I got
right.
you. You
We
don't have to be
are
nervous.
having, we're chilling.
And you know what? Because I went
It's
first, I
us.
knew I was gonna miss something. And since we're not supposed to be nervous, I want to say I jumped right to the grandchildren. I forgot my sons and my daughter, and like Shawnee said, they're gonna be watching. So I definitely want to mention the children, Jonathan, Emmanuel, and Anaya. The reasons for me being grandparent. So okay,
Absolutely.
ooh, got that out of the way.
That's
Okay.
all right. That's all right. We jump in
My child
anytime.
too.
Listen, when Sheba says she has her mom, I'm glad she's listening, Sheba, and I'm glad you mentioned that because an idea was dropped on me Saturday morning at breakfast. There's someone in my life who knows a lot of retired educators, and we're talking they taught in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And if
Wow.
your mother is interested, I am planning in the spring of next year that we're going to do a special edition of In the Trenches, a historical perspective. And we will have retired educators.
What?
That's
I love
amazing.
it.
We're not gonna be old enough for that book, y'all.
Well, I tell you what, she has signed me up for everything without talking it over with me all my life. She signed up. I just signed it.
I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah. So in the trenches, oh my gosh,
Sharon.
these wonderful ladies. What? Yes.
Wow. Now,
Can we show it?
I need you. Yes, you can. I need you to explain to the audience the book and the genesis of the book.
Wow. And
First and
so
foremost.
we're being synergetic because that is exactly what I was getting ready to do. I
Okay.
told you you are always on point, Quentin. A little quick, but you're on point. So anyway, yes. So in the trenches was birthed out of a charge from one of my mentors. He kept asking us every morning, right after the quarantine, what are we going to do with all this extra time? And I was being hard headed. I don't have any extra time. I have a full time job. What is he talking about? He's not talking to me. He's talking to those other people. And he kept saying it. So finally, I decided to be obedient and sat down and said, "Okay, God, what I'm gonna do with this extra time?" And long story short, In the Trenches was born. I contacted our publisher, John McClung from, I didn't shout out John from JLS One Publishing. Yes, we're talking about our book. We definitely needed to give him a shout out. He bought into my vision. And I have the vision and mission of helping to create 1,000 new authors who are early childhood professionals. And so that's not to say if you've written before, you can't join us, but the main mission is creating new authors. And that's what happened with this book. All 9 of us became authors for the first time in July. Yes. We went to #1 bestseller in our categories on Amazon. And John has these, what we call Johnisms. And he said, do something so great that history cannot erase it. Absolutely. And that's what we've done, because this book is in print now, and it will never be erased from time, even if it's out of print. You can look up a book and it'll still come up. It may say out of print, but it still comes up.
GMB.
Yeah, that's right. Google me, baby. So
Google me, baby.
Yeah, we created history with this book. And I just sat, and as God gave me the names, I wrote them down, sent out an email. And Deborah, I knew everybody prior to this experience with the exception of Deborah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Deborah at the time was John's fiance, and nobody knew that, including me. I knew that they were dating, but I didn't know it had gotten that deep. And they got married right before the launch. And so if John, she was a referral from John, if he trusted her, I trusted her, and then she trusted me, and here we are. Absolutely. A few months later. So it was an amazing journey.
Well, congratulations, Deborah, on your marriage.
Thank you.
First and foremost. Let's start with Toy. Well, I gotta call you that because that's what I've known you the last couple of years.
It's
right?
fine. It's fine.
Explain your experience with writing your portion of the book. What was it to you that made you reminisce? Just explain your experience.
So my portion was totally about my grandson. His name is Eli, and he's autistic. So we didn't know that he was going to be a child with disabilities until it was confirmed when he was 3. He's now 6. So I actually went step by step from her finding out she was pregnant all the way to current time. Him being in first grade, reading, talking, socializing, everything he didn't do for 3 years. So it was like we didn't know what to do. No one in our family has autism. No one that's directly connected to me is autistic or has someone around. Of course, I work with children that were, but that was a totally different scenario for me. This one was my daughter's first child, my first grandson, and we were just trying to make it work the best way we could. We used sign language. Shawnee was a call that I had often. We talked often about different ways to the resources, trying to find the psychologist. I mean, everything was a process. So we went through years of trying to get him to just be where he is, speech therapy. And I just told the story. I told his story. And to me, it's one of the best stories in my lifetime, because I got to know someone on their terms, not them learning mine. Normally, when you teach them because of experience and knowledge and things they need to know. That happened. He got the basics, but it wasn't reciprocated. He had different responses: screaming, hands over the ears, constantly frustrated because he couldn't say what he needed to say. And so it was frustrating for my daughter to be a first time mother. And it was just a process. So I really think it was important for me to tell that story, since it's a story that is more common than not. Um, it makes it seems like autism is trending in the sense that everyone's aware now. I think people are now noticing it, more accepting of it. I was never in denial of the sense of no, he doesn't have it or he doesn't have something. I just knew something wasn't right. So I just wanted to know what it is so we could fix it or do whatever he needs, give him the help that he needs. And he got it. He has it. And he is doing well. He actually wrote his first animal book 2 weeks
Wow.
ago from A to Z. And I'm
Wow.
working on trying to get that
Wow.
published because I'm super proud of him. For someone who couldn't do, he is a
Yes.
self-taught young man and he's super smart. He's a big brother and he is amazing. I tell him every time I see him, I love you. You're my best friend. You're super smart and you're adorable. And he repeats that all to me. So it just, you have no idea for someone who couldn't say his name to say it my name. It
Great.
just, without
Great.
crying, it's a
Well,
lot.
Cindy had a question for you guys. She said, how many times have each of you read the book?
Mm, 3 times for me.
Twice for me. Twice for me.
Yeah.
It's almost twice. You've not or one all the way through, then a couple of chapters here, there. You go back and look and
Yeah.
read.
Yeah, I was gonna say, including some the first time when I read the draft, I've read it 3 times, but I've also skimmed chapters in between those readings.
Sheba,
So
let me ask you because the young ladies behind the scenes. I was messing with them. And I didn't get a chance to mess with you.
Uh-oh.
So
Uh-oh.
I have to ask you, Sheba. How fast did you run home to tell Ma you got a bestseller?
Okay, well, see, first, um, I don't even think I said anything at first
Mm.
because, well, she's in the background talking about tonight. I thought, no, no. Okay, well, then if she says tonight, okay, then I'll go with tonight. Tonight is the first time that I've said something to my mother.
Wow.
And she's over there with tissue and everything. So she's laughing, she's crying,
Oh.
she's doing all kind of stuff over here. So if you see me wander over to the left, I'm just trying to make sure that she's okay. Because, this is this big time for her, big time for me too. So um, she knew I was an author. She knew the book is in print. Because she has a copy. She's trying to send copies all across the state, but bestseller right now.
Yes.
Deborah, let me ask you.
Bestseller right now.
You met these amazing ladies through your husband. Basically, that was the connection. Uh,
Yes.
so you met this amazing man, and through this amazing man, you met these amazing women. Have you thanked that man?
I
Boy, she
have.
did a wink.
So,
Wait,
so Deborah, let me ask you honestly.
the child friendly answer.
Like you said, you have an amazing life.
Yes.
Did you ever think you would write a book?
I never did. I never thought about it because of my past. I was legally blind. I couldn't read. My attention span was that short. Um, and I never thought it. My education was challenging. I call my books like the Flintstone tablets. I carried books that were so big, print this big, glasses this big. I was always the butt end of jokes. I was legally blind. I was always that child, that special education. We talk about autism. How do you get help for those children? When I was a child, it really wasn't there. So I was the
Yeah.
child that was sit to the back. And so no one ever talked to me about careers, college, anything. Um, and then one year it was put to me as like, well, can you go to college? I wouldn't even think of it. More school. I got through early education. Elementary school, and that was good enough. It was a challenge in itself. So I was asked, can you take one class at a time? So I did. And that really started my journey towards education. I was a straight A student. I was on the dean's list, but that didn't come before my miracle from God. I was a mother. I was married before, and I said, God, I want to be able to read to my children. And he granted that. I was able to get surgeries on my eyes, and I was able to read. And in 1995, that doesn't sound too far away. And it wasn't. I read my first chapter book. So I can relate to my children, and I tell them there's no excuses. I let them know about my plight. I let them know about my past because I'm one of those teachers. I say no excuses. So I understand when a child is intimidated when they see huge passages. I understand when they just want to flip and see pictures. Well, that was me. So no, a job, let alone becoming an author. Some things just were not in my mind. It was like I was gliding through life. So this is an opportunity that keeps me with a heart of thanksgiving before the Lord. And how it unfolds, I just had to take the role of a student by raising my hand saying, Miss Sharon, I want to be in your book too. I want to be part of it. That's how I have to, because I didn't know her. I met her through John. And so, it just gives you a boldness. And this book has just opened doors. I have another book coming, a children's book. And so just wonderful thing. When I say it's amazing, I look back over my life. I was blind, but now I see. That is my testimony.
Yes. Amen.
Well, on to my buddy.
Amen, Miss Deborah. Amen.
On to Shani. Shani, we've known each other forever.
Yes.
You actually came. When I seen the book, I asked you to come on the show to promote the book. Actually,
Yes.
but since then, you've been through some difficulties in your
Hmm.
personal life.
Yes.
And I know how much your father meant to you, even back to when we were in school.
Yes.
Like that's all you ever talked about, and he was an educator, who was beloved by our town.
Mhm.
So knowing that, how I know for you it was good to know that his daughter had wrote a book before he passed.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Have have you pinched yourself yet?
Um, just everything has been in a whirlwind since this whole pandemic. But the reality of everything, we still keep going. What you don't know, Quentin, is that when we did the last show, literally probably a minute before we went on air, my mom called me to tell me that my dad wasn't doing well. And so we still went on with the show, and I just had to push through, just knowing that whatever was going on, it was still going to be there, and, just get through it. And then as soon as we got off, I jumped off the air and I called my mom, was like, okay, well, mom, what is going on? And so, um, yeah, it just was a rough time, this whole entire pandemic. But the good times are the book. The book
Yeah.
is definitely one of those things where you have the sunshine through the storms. So between the COVID, and so now you have the book that Sharon, she was able to push us to get through in 90 days, where we were able to write it. When we found out that it was a bestseller, those are those times where you have those rainbows out of a storm.
Right.
Those are the times where the sun is peeking through the clouds. So I've just been, it's been unreal, but at the same time, there have been a lot of good moments that have helped me get through my rough times.
Right.
Yeah, what's amazing, for the chat and for you ladies that don't know, is you guys know Shanice's personality is real laid back. But it's funny because I met Toy basically through social media for the last 3 or 4 years. We have been friends on social media,
Yeah.
and she's more aggressive than Shanice. And then then Sharon is more aggressive than Shanice. So Shanice has a connection with people where she's more laid back, where she's connected to people that are more aggressive, so to say. So when her and Sharon came on to promote the book, I offered Sharon an opportunity, and me and Sharon had a conversation, and it went better than I think both of us expected. And this is the fourth episode of the show, and you guys kind of the book from Deborah's husband to Sharon to the people she chose, knowing Shani, knowing me, back to Sharon. So you
Yes.
guys kind of like really seen
Full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle.
full circle, and
Absolutely.
like I told Sharon, one of the things I really enjoyed doing the show. I learned a lot. I wasn't one of those people that was in school for education, but I did go to school. Um, and I'm always fascinated with educators, the things you guys go through. And I want to ask all you guys a question because this is going to be interesting here. What can your mates do better
Ooh,
with understanding what you guys go through?
that's a loaded question.
Yeah, it can go a whole lot of ways.
I mean, let's just say if I don't say just mate, say the men in your life, your brothers, your confidants, because a lot of times we don't know what you guys go through, even with simple fact is supplies.
Oh
Um,
gosh, yes.
I have volunteered at a food bank one time, and they had a department where they did school supplies, and the teachers used to come in there, and I think most people take it for granted that the school is going to have supplies.
Mm.
So
Not always.
I'm asking, what could your family or somebody do better to help me understand what you guys go through? Let's say it like that.
Well, I want to say it couldn't get any better for me being with an author. John Ellis McClung is an author. I mean, he's got several books out as well as the owner of a publishing company. So he and I are pretty much on the same page as far as, setting aside time for reading, that quiet time. You need your me space. As far as editing, having each other's back as far as, how's this sound? What do you think about this? Or sometimes it's just a secret and, giving honest feedback as a publisher. He really acted as the publisher. I didn't have any inside perks. Things were revealed just when they were revealed to the whole group, and I thought that was valuable to me. Going through this the first time, I wasn't cheated out of any experience. So my situation is going to be different than my co-authors here. And yeah, I'm just in a land of milk and honey right now.
I don't know if I would say that I would want an awareness with my husband or my brothers, and I don't know if this would be the answer that you're looking for as far as your question. But I wanted to say this: a lot of us are in the ages back in 70s, 60s, decades, and upbringing was considered old school. So if you didn't talk, if you didn't come here, if you didn't do this, you were immediately looked at funny. If you didn't follow that direction, you got your feelings hurt, right? We were so quick to get our feelings hurt that sometimes they forgot to hear us. And I think that's what's missing with the children is that we're so quick to go old school, or we're too busy on these and too busy with the craziness of the world, and then the just life in general, we forget to hear them. And that would be the only thing I could deal with. My husband, I could deal with my brothers and uncles and whoever I need to, because we all are in a village together. I could even go as far as Shawnee and Sharon. We a village. We've been around each other for a long time, so it's not a matter of their awareness. I just need people who we have to directly or indirectly have to deal with to be aware that these kids have voices. They need better directions and better patience and understanding. A lot of children are not getting diagnosed because of denial. resources.
Yeah.
They rather spend money on everything else but their children's welfare and being,
That's true.
so I rather focus that answer to just hear the kids. If they're not doing something at a certain milestone, it's a reason. It's not because they shouldn't be threatened or scared to be pushed into development. It's not gonna work. You're gonna have children that's going to be, like you said, in the back of the classroom, always in trouble, misdiagnosed. They're going to be in Shawnee's classroom. And Shawnee will tell me, if the parents would do this, if the children did this. I just think that's where the awareness needs to be.
Wow. Quentin, I want to come on that because it's so funny, Mia, when you said voice. Because Quentin, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it yet or not. Well, you saw the 1st one. That's what I talk about. That the purpose of having in the trenches with early educators is to help people to understand that children don't have a voice. They don't get to choose what school they go to. They don't get to choose their subjects. They are just told what to, they don't get to choose what food they're going to eat. They don't get to choose where they live. They are subject to the decisions that the adults in their life make. And they're not always the best decisions. We don't always make the best decisions as adults. There's some adults right now with this whole situation with voting who were adamant about they are not going to vote. And I said, well, if you don't want to vote for yourself and if you feel like nothing's going to change for you, you think about those children running around your neighborhood, your next door neighbor's children, your nieces and nephews. Just think about the children who can't go vote.
Right.
They can't say, this is what we need. Our schools need more funding, and our school lunches suck and they're not nutritious, and we need some changes. They can't say that. And if they do, nobody's listening.
Mm-hmm.
And so the biggest piece for In the Trenches is to give the children a voice by sharing the world, the society's issues that impact them and help us to understand how we can better be their voice. So that was a good question.
Sharon, why?
Was on point.
Sharon, because the first thing when politicians cut money, where they cut it from?
Education.
Education.
Sad.
Isn't that something?
So sad.
And every professional, they have to come through an educator. So why cut our pay?
Right.
Okay? They have to come through an educator.
Yeah.
Why are they targeting us? We are necessary. We are essential.
Essential workers.
Essential work. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite sure you done told Mom plenty of times, like, why you choose this for us?
Okay, so part of my it's funny you say that because part of my portion in the book is just that. I promise I did everything else but follow in the path that was laid for me well before I was even a twinkle in her eye. I should have known to just follow, but I did everything else other than that, which led me to a lot of, okay, this is might be a new term for some of you or a new little thing, but busting my head all the way to the white meat. To the white meat. I mean, just everything backwards. And then one day I had no choice. It was either continue in something that I knew I had absolutely no business doing. I was taking up somebody else's job that needed it. I just had to on faith step out. I did, and got a phone call maybe a day later about an opportunity, and I wrestled with it for a minute, and then I said, you know what, let me just do it. And ever since then, things have just been, I don't know, just I'm here. So you know that had to be good. I'm here. But it's just I'm glad she chose it for me.
Right.
And I'm
Well,
glad that
great.
sometimes the tough love and stuff. I'm glad. I'm just glad. I'm
Hey,
happy.
hey, Sheba.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need our path chosen for us.
Mm.
Yeah. And I was
Me
one.
too. Me
One
too.
of them. Me.
I was one. I think I probably needed my path chosen,
Yes.
but. Oh, you said yes.
Yes.
Let me, well, let me ask you guys. All you guys are teaching virtually right now or classroom?
I'm
Virtual,
virtual.
virtual.
I'm not in the classroom anymore.
I want you guys to explain something to me. A lot of people don't understand that. You guys happen to be in a bigger city than most. Most people don't understand that half of America don't even have Wi-Fi. It
Yeah.
sounds crazy for those of us that live in a big city. We may not understand, but half of the country does not have Wi-Fi. How do you deal saying that? How do you deal with teaching virtually when you know you got those certain students that really need your hands on?
It's a struggle. It really is a struggle. I work with kids with behavior difficulties and emotional issues. And so they already have one situation against them, just
Yeah.
even face to face situation. So now you have them in virtual where they're not really technologically advanced enough to be able to maneuver through the technology. And so now they have to log on, they have to be able to get into Google Classroom, they have to know how to get into Zoom. They have to work in this space where a lot of times they have multiple siblings. So you have 6 or 7 siblings all in one space. Everyone's teacher is talking at the same time. It's frustrating to them. And I'm not going to lie, as an educator, when I have to hear them when they unmute, it's frustrating to me.
Preach, preacher.
It's like it's overwhelming. And then, to make matters worse, like you said, they don't have the internet usage. So, some counties are providing hotspots to be able to log on, but then they're on, and you can't hear. It sounds warped. It's logging out, and we're not even going to talk about the ones that won't even log on. Period, just because they just don't like school. So
Mm.
it's a struggle. It really is a struggle.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to wear different hats. You do. I become a comedian. I become an actor. I become really tech savvy. I have to differentiate. I bring in videos. I get them up and try to make it as fun and engaging as I can. It comes with a whole lot more of pre-planning. People think, oh, teachers are just at home. Stop the lies. We are working double time. Okay, it is hard work. You have to pre-plan right up front, like literally everything, not just lesson plans, but how are you going to implement that? Because I work with children with large gaps. We can only imagine what the gaps are going to look like next year. So, in trying to close those gaps, you have to entertain. I teach a low grade elementary school, little babies. Their attention span. I know about short attention span.
Yeah.
So you've got to try to reach them so you don't lose them. Each year, the Lord gives me a new batch of babies, and I own those babies, and I don't want anyone to hurt them. And
Right.
like Shawnee was saying, the background noise. It gets to me sometimes. I have to turn my face from the camera like, oh, the noise. But this is what our children are dealing with. So that
True.
you still want to provide that safe place for them, make it fun for them, but you've got to get that content in because we don't want any child left behind. So
True.
it is definitely a challenge online, but
Right.
it is doable.
It is.
It is. And I'm on the flip side where you all are in the classroom, like I said when I first came on, giving the information. I'm on the other side. And again, shout out to APEC because what my employer has done is opened up their doors for kids who have chosen the virtual learning option. Like the city of Atlanta is not even going back to school. So we have some of those students. We have some Fulton County students that, chose not to go back. So
Right.
we're there with the Wi-Fi because you're right. It's not even half of the nation. It's some in the city that don't have it.
Mhm.
True.
Mhm.
True.
And
So, for
Because
the
it's
inner city
considered a
baby,
luxury.
it
Hmm.
is. It is. It's not a necessity. But
Right.
now it is. All of a
I mean,
sudden,
But now it is,
it
right?
is.
Yeah.
And
I think the
so
2020 really, with dealing with the COVID, it allows all
it's a
of us
lot.
to reset, rethink,
Yes.
remanage,
Yes.
readjust. Um, Really, when you sit back and think about it, Wi-Fi should be free, and it should
It
be
should.
to everybody. And this is actually a wake-up call because our government does not value education, and it's
Not
showing
At
at
every.
all.
No.
It's been getting worse and worse, and
So it seems, yeah.
having this relationship with Shanae and Sharon and you guys, I'm starting to see it, and I'm every week when we do a show, I'm just baffled at it. Like, this is just amazing to me that common things, and I didn't even ask you guys about, knowing the kid might not have eaten no food that morning, and you
Mm,
know, when Shanique brought up the multiple kids, now you got somebody that got multiple
Yeah.
kids. The mother
Hmm.
and father might be at work, or it might be a single parent in the home.
Right.
So on behalf of myself and everybody in the chat, I really appreciate you guys and all you do, and you guys don't get enough thanks and enough money
No doubt.
because that is why you do it. You got to get paid.
Hmm.
You guys, there isn't enough money that can replace what you guys do for everybody because you guys are essentially teaching tomorrow's adults.
Absolutely.
Right. Right.
Yes.
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
John,
Sharon,
Yes.
this is part of the dream team. You have a member. You have your other member that's trying to get in. Her device is actually not 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 coming in. I'm trying to get her in, but it's
Oh,
not
okay.
coming in. And she put her name in the trenches. She didn't want to put her name. She put her name
no
in the
government,
trenches
would you
first.
put a government name? No
she's
Yeah.
in
government name?
she's
But
in the trenches right now. She's trying to get
Right.
out.
Mhm.
She,
Help,
Who's that?
she,
Who's that, Toy?
help. That's my cousin. Hey, Quan. He has an adorable son. Oh, he's adorable.
So is
Yeah.
it is it anything? Is it anything like Did you did do you guys feel like this book changed you in any way? Did it you know make you stronger? Did it make you feel like, yo, I really went through all this stuff? Because like you said, when Sharon called you guys with the project and said what she wanted to do, we had talked before. It was COVID, so it was like,
Yeah.
okay, now I got to reflect. I got the time to reflect. Did it make you realize how far you guys have came individually? Where you want to go? What you want to do?
Well, I just want to make a comment before I make answer that one. But anytime Sharon calls or texts or emails me, it's always a yes. I have never told her no for nothing. I have followed her to two centers, so I trust her. So she said, "Do this." It didn't matter what was going around
Exactly.
me. It's for her I'll do it. For Shawnee I'll do it. For my new in the trenches family I'll do it. But that's not hard. I don't know if it changed me. I just feel like I'm following in my purpose. I always wanted to write something about him anyway. And I've been documenting on my calendar and different papers of things that he did from birth to current. So to me, I feel like it's finally down on paper, it's in a book. So he can one day read his own story my perspective on him. But I feel good. I feel like when I see people say that they're an author and stuff, like I think the other day was best-selling authors day. I was like, oh, that's me. I mean, author day. And I was like, that's me. But I don't
Yeah,
feel like I'm just too
Sharon
grown.
let that be known. It was Author's Day.
Yolanda, who's trying to come in, she sent me a happy best authors day image on my text that morning, and I was like, okay, okay, I like this crown I'm wearing. Okay, so I mean, I feel good. I feel good.
Okay,
I would.
well, for me, I can. You want to go, Miss
Oh,
Deborah? You go.
no, go
Okay.
go for it, baby. I can wait.
Okay. So, well, for me, I can say that it gave me a boost of confidence that I needed
Good.
because, of course, I got all these wonderful love children. Eat, breathe, sleep them. That's all I think about from, sun up to sundown. And I have one of my own as well. And sometimes it aggravates him that I'm just so passionate because I treat him the same way and he's my son. So you're getting motherly love, you're getting educator love, just love, 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 love. And sometimes it's love overload. But it brought out who I'm destined to be. I'm just on my way and I know it. And I have doubted myself for quite some time. And I work with a wonderful organization who has always been in my corner and been a silent cheerleader even when I didn't know. Miss Sharon, who I met through, she was our trainer. And to even be on her radar for me was mind blowing. It was like, I promise it was like Obama or somebody calling, like, hey, I need you to do this for me. Do that for me. And I was like, whoa. Okay, so I'm gonna write a book now. On top of everything else that I've done, everything else that I've accomplished, this was just the I don't know what I can necessarily call it. I can't really describe the feeling. I don't have the adjective for it. Just know that overwhelming, of course, because you don't understand. I almost didn't make it to this right here to this point,
Wow.
but I had some believers. Some of those, I had a mother, my mom, of course, and people just silently rooting me on to make it to the finish line. So I'm on that way. I'm on my way. Halfway there.
Yay, girl.
Yay.
Yay.
I want to jump in for just a second because and I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to get emotional. This for me as the curator, the backbone behind pulling this project together. When I listen to the authors talk about their lives and why they said yes, and the fact that the stories and how the book has impacted them, just for me, I think that's the greater part for me than even becoming an author myself. I wrote it down. You know how they tell you to write down your perfect day in your life. And so author was one of the things. As I was describing myself, I said, I'm an author. But the bigger piece is the impact that my willingness to step out and try to make this happen, how it's impacting other people. And we book 2 is on its way.
Right.
We'll have all authors from book 2 next time that we're here. But it's becoming more meaningful for me now with this whole mission that I didn't choose it. It was God given. It's a divine mission. Because see, I scratched out 1,000 and put 100 because I knew I could do 100. Like I 1,000. But as I continue to move in this vein, what's happening for me is it's like what you all said is my purpose. Now, this is really purpose driven because not only am I helping people reach their dreams of becoming an author, it goes beyond that. It goes so much farther beyond that I'm truly having an impact that I would have never dreamed, that just because I invited somebody to be a part of something I was doing would have such an impact on their lives. And now I'm here with the show and get to have educators come on and inform and impact us. So I'm going to shut up because I'm about to cry.
It's okay. It's worth it.
Yes.
So I feel empowered. And with that, I mean, for years, I've had stories, I've had titles, but never a voice. Never thought that what I had to say would be worth hearing. And to go on Amazon and a perfect
Excuse me,
stranger
Deborah.
gives me
Deborah,
such a thumbs up for something that was in
Deborah,
my heart. Yes.
Deborah, you said something very profound just now. Say that again.
She did.
I feel empowered.
No.
Oh, I got titles, got degrees,
All
never
that,
had
but
a
not
I
a
voice.
thought
voice.
nobody thought would want to hear what you had to say.
No one want to hear my voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was one of the fears that the publisher, John McClung, helped us to get over. He was an amazing coach,
Yeah.
and it helped us to overcome the hurdles that would have otherwise been those barriers
Stopping
to
points.
stop this book from coming forward. But now I have a voice and I have direction. And like Sharon, she's a true motivator, a collaborator.
Yes.
And my
Absolutely.
whole heart has been for children. So I am going to be working on a collaboration for young authors. I come
Yay.
across writings and artwork, and even my little niece had started this little book on a unicorn. And when I looked at it, because of, I guess, my trained eye now of seeing it, just being hopeful and empowered, and just I'm encouraging her. And I was like, Mom, you've got to get her sketchbooks. You got to encourage her to write. She is a
Yes.
young author and she's 6.
Yes.
She's 6.
Yes.
And so it's 6 that we can encourage. You know, the richest place in the world is where, y'all? The cemetery. Many books are in the grave. Many songs unwritten are in the grave. And every day I want to work on that dash in my life. And this now has become part of my dash.
Yes.
And so in this dash, I can add to it, like Sharon said, I'm an author. And I want to help other people fulfill their dreams. I want to give my children I know in unfamiliar that opportunity, that voice. And I really feel empowered through this collaboration. I am so thankful for the opportunity.
Yes. That was good, Deborah.
Good job. Bring it on home.
Yes.
Bring it on home.
Yes.
Well,
Wow.
well, let me tell you guys, me and Sharon had a conversation. Sharon, like you guys said, Sharon is she's an amazing planner.
Yes.
So she tries to plan out shows way ahead of time. So we were planning on this episode. She said, "I don't know who I'm gonna get on the show." I said, and I looked at her because we was talking about it. And I looked at her like, "This can't be Sharon." Like, and then she was like, "I'll let you know in 2 days." And she's like, "I got it. I already know what I'm doing." She got the show planned out probably for the next 5 weeks, y'all. Like,
I believe it. I
Yes.
believe it.
There's that straw.
Yes.
That's
straw. Yeah.
it's funny that sometimes me and Sharon behind the scenes had when you're working with somebody, you have to talk, and in the talking, you give a piece of yourself.
Right.
And I had to tell her, some things about me, and she told me some things about her, and it's amazing that sometimes you come across people that they're just what you need to hear to motivate you. Like I told you guys, I didn't go to school for education, but I am an avid reader.
Right.
I've read over 500 books.
Oh, wow.
I have a very, very good memory. So I could probably offhand tell you about 100 of those books. But so the connection and meeting you guys were like perfect for me. I'm not only as educators, but as authors. So, you guys have, like I said, you guys have changed the show because it does seem like I'm always talking to somebody that's written a book or an author somewhere, and
Well, you're next. You're on that
I'm
list.
gonna say you're next.
Yes,
Next.
Quentin, you have a story to
no,
tell.
no, I have something in the works that's unfinished actually, but
Good
I've been
job.
Jealous
working on it.
One Publishing. Jealous One Publishing.
No, but one of the things, and this is part of what I wanted to do, is the reason why I started the show. Everybody wants to start a YouTube or whatever thing or podcast, whatever, and we all want to. Oh, I want to interview somebody famous. I'm gonna get this one and that one. But my whole objective was to what I call interviewing ordinary people or ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's me.
you guys are doing you guys
She
are
said,
doing a
check
heck
that.
of a job. A heck of a job, and I really appreciate you. And Sheba, I know you had to leave, but we really appreciate you too, Sheba. Um, is there anything else you guys would like to discuss? I mean, I'm just in awe. Like I could be a fly on the wall. Sharon's the chef.
Well, I'm gonna go last because I have quite a few things to say. So I'm gonna let my guests go first.
Woo! Toy, I'm gonna inbox you after the show. But we're gonna talk.
Mm-mm,
We're gonna talk
mm-mm,
after the show. But I'm
mm-mm.
gonna inbox you after we have our little discussion because I need to give you some information.
Right, right.
You know,
We cool.
a little gratuity, right? Right, Shanique? A little gratuity. Sorry, I'm just playing. But is there anything else you guys would like to share?
Quentin, thank you for the platform. You could be talking about anything else. I'm also a producer of a sports show, 4G Sports. That's the plug. Sorry, but
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Get
I'm,
those.
people don't realize your voice is one thing. It's how you use it too. You
Yes.
know, and so you chose to use your voice in different ways with the different shows you have, and I applaud you because it's not always easy having your own thing. You hope people are listening. You hope people are subscribing. You hope people are sharing. And that may not always be the case. Depending on the subject matter, you may get everybody. And, today, who knows, But for you to collaborate with Sharon and Shawnee Connection, I applaud you because you could have just made that a one-off and was like, I did my part and moved on. But you decided to advocate for education and
Yeah.
educators and
Yeah.
children. You are an advocate for
Yes.
us, and we
Yes.
applaud
Well,
We
you.
well,
appreciate
well,
you.
Yes. Thank you.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of the things that when you have a sports show,
Yes.
we go through our doubts.
Yes.
Um, we feel like we've invested so much financially,
Yes.
uh, background, studying, working
Yes.
hard. Like I tell people, and I don't think I've ever said it on camera. Is before I decided to do this, I actually studied it for 18 months.
Oh,
Wow.
And
wow. Wow.
COVID kind of saturated the market
Yes.
because it's so easy for a quote unquote celebrity to start a podcast, and now they got 10 million followers because their celebrity
Exactly.
started it. So
Yeah.
I realized in talking through a lot of the guests and having shows of substance, I realized that all of the stuff that I did behind the scenes and the effort pays off
True.
Yes.
because these
And
are the
what God
moments.
has for you, it's for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're in the infancy stage, and what most people always say is it's not the ending, it's the journey.
Right.
True.
Yes.
So for me, like right now is like the perfect time. The world is at a standstill.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
we know, when the world gets back to a new normal, hopefully I'll still be there. I'll still be able to be a voice for people, and
Sharon's gonna book you. Yeah, Sharon's got you.
and
Yeah.
be able
She's gonna
to
keep you busy.
be a voice for the ordinary person, and and be able to have these shows and have discussions where we just kind of like just talk,
Yeah.
Right.
just talk.
Right.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
Deborah, do you have anything that you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I would just again echo Nia's sentiments. I appreciate the opportunity. It
Yes.
wasn't scary. The excitement
No.
is still rumbling around in me.
Yeah.
Um, and I just want to publicly acknowledge Sharon for her brilliance and,
Absolutely.
in the trenches too, like she gave way to is coming. And I had the opportunity of being in that one. And it's endless where this journey is taking us. And
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going to see you guys again, Lord willing,
Yeah.
on this journey, whether you are the author on the book cover or whether you all are branching off doing something amazing in the world outside of education, because I know we all feel a little bit more empowered and our voice is screaming a little bit louder. Yeah. And that makes us puff our chest out. Oh, speaking of our chest out, you see that book? Can we say our chest out? Come on, Sharon, let's represent.
My shirt right here. Right here.
There we go. All right, I had to put that little plug in there to our shirt.
There's no such thing as not promoting. Promote as much as you can.
If you can't, nobody else will.
Yeah. Thank you, Quentin.
Mm-hmm. You're more than welcome.
Yes. Just I can't thank Sharon enough for this opportunity. Just the book in itself, the opportunities, the things that I've changed in my life. When I wrote the book, my book was my section was about just the challenges that I was going through teaching and wanting to kind of. I was at that crossroads of, do I stay in education? Do I leave? And so since then, I have been forced to kind of go in a different direction. I'm still teaching, but I'm in a different program. And because of the book and because of me recognizing to follow what God has in store for my life, I'm now in a situation where I'm back to loving what I do again.
Good.
And so I'm so happy about that.
Mama.
I love my babies, and I was loving my babies before. I always loved my babies, but it was starting to become a job, and now it's back to a passion. So this book has changed that for me, and I appreciate you, Sharon, for that. Quentin, just as always, we go way back, all the way to, we won't even talk about how long we've known each other. But I will say, the relationship that we had when we were younger, you have, since doing this talk show with you, you've kind of you've had me to open up my eyes as to how to approach some of my students now. Some things that I can do with them to realize, because I've always been big on making sure that they are prepared for the world, going in the direction, whether they go to college, whether they go to vocational school, whether they, get a job. I want them to do something successful. But in talking with you, and you and I are going to have a conversation off the air, some things that I want you to do with me in my classroom.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to be prepared, be on the lookout for that, Quentin, because I want you to kind of help me with some of my babies, because I deal with middle school young men. Okay. And I think someone like you could kind of help reach some of them.
We need strong.
We need men like you. And some of you all don't know, the young ladies, Quentin does so much for the community. He gives back to the community. He has so many things where he's assisting in the community. He has plugs. He's always connecting people, resources. And I've watched you over the years through Facebook of what you've been doing. And I really applaud you and appreciate everything that you've been doing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that to you, Quentin. Just keep on doing what you're doing.
Yes. Yes. When you live a purpose-driven life.
Yes. And you are walking in your purpose.
Yeah. It's just, everything just lines up and it just works. Like, no matter what you do, if it's purpose-driven, it works.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So and I want Quentin's story in a book. I really want I want him to publish his story.
It's coming.
And I look forward to reading it. I want that. So get on it, Quentin.
Get on it. Some so great history won't erase it, Quentin.
Hey, Shanique, it's going to be a couple sections. I might have to get some disclaimers out there.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Let's get these fake names going now.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I just want to thank all of our authors from In the Trenches, Stories from the Heart of Early Childhood Professionals. And so what we are going to do for all of our viewers and listeners who tune in, either have tuned in tonight or watch or listen to the recorded version, we are offering you a discount. So your coupon is Let's Talk, all one word, all capital, Let's Talk. And if you go to inthetrenchesbc.com, you can purchase the book there, and be sure to use the code Let's Talk when you get ready to check out. And I believe it's a $5 discount on anything, any products on the site. So there's that. So go and read it for yourself. You heard just the tip of the iceberg. There are some amazing stories from some amazing people. I know I just put my book over to the other side. I'm the only one with that.
There you go.
And thank you, yes, to J. Ellis One Publishing, John McClung Jr., who is our publisher, who has been doing an amazing job, because not only did he help us to get the book published, but he did the coaching sessions along with me, and I've learned so much from him. I'm sure that there were some other things, but I lost it, and that's okay. I'll put it in the comments. But I just want to thank everybody. Thank you again to you, Quentin, for providing the platform for In the Trenches. And you all are amazing. So thank you to our listeners and our viewers. We appreciate you as well. Don't forget, I know Quentin downplayed it, but don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share.
Yes.
Okay, because it's not about the notoriety, it is about the information being shared with other people. So if you found value in tonight's episode, then please be sure to share the wealth. We will be back on November the 18th at 7 p.m. with another set of authors from In the Trenches, Stories from the Heart of Early Childhood Professionals, Volume 2.
With that, ladies, make sure you guys stay on the line. Don't hang up. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys for joining us tonight. And with that, stay blessed and stay safe and have a great night.
Bye-bye.